Okay guys, we're going to jump straight into this video. We're going to discuss one of the best stocks to buy now, in my opinion. I'm going to get stuck right into it. It is actually American Airlines. I haven't traded this much. I have done some swing trades on it from riding up previous lows. And that is exactly what I'm sort of looking at here again now. So this chart may look very bearish to you. Yes, I would agree, it is very bearish. However, when we start piecing things together and reading what the chart has given us, we can actually get an A star opportunity or an A plus opportunity out of this to swing to the upside with pretty minimal risk. So what the first thing we're going to look at right now is American Airlines is actually almost at the COVID lows, which is just an amazing. This was an amazing buying opportunity, as you all know. Everybody wishes they could have bought stock at the COVID lows. Well, here's your opportunity. Right here is your opportunity. Next thing we're going to look at is if I turn on the drawings, what you can see is we are at key levels. We're at this key low. We're at this key low. Here's the key highs. Even if you go all the way back, we're at this high volume key low range here. So next thing, let's turn this off. What we can see is that let's look at the RSI. The RSI is all the way down at 24.87, massively oversold. Every single time we go into oversold, as you can see right here, oversold, we haven't bounced yet. Right here, we were in oversold, which actually hit about here, but you can see we did fall further. And whenever it came out of oversold, we did have a nice rally. Hit oversold right here. Yes, we did fall further, but it did rally. We hit oversold right on this bottom here. Lovely rally. We hit oversold right on this bottom. Lovely rally. In fact, on this rally alone, from we hit oversold, it actually went up 71%. So now let's turn on my custom supply and demand indicator that I made. Now would you look at this? This paints a very, very nice picture for us. Turns the charts into a language that we can read. Well, here's the zones that we're falling through right now. Every single time in previous history, from all the way back to 2022, in fact, we can go even further back to the COVID lows. What you can see is that at the COVID lows is when we created all of these zones. And you can see when price is bouncing back into them, it tends to bounce. Even with this wick, straight back out back into the strongest zone, straight out and off to the races. Now, look at the next retest we had of these zones. Exactly to the penny, we touched this and bounced. Here, we touched it and bounced. Here, we touched it and bounced. Almost there. Back in here, touched it and bounced. Here, touched it and bounced. Here, back to the strongest zone. Up. Back to that zone again, up and out. Then you can see we created this supply zone here. Touched it, rejection. Touched it, rejection. This rejection created larger zones. Touched the new ones, rejection. This one created another zone. Touched that one, rejection. Back to the strongest zone, rejection. Now we're back to the strong part of the demand again. This right here is the buy zone. This is the ultimate buy zone for American Airlines. If you could have bought the stock anywhere in this choppy price range and your risk was quite high, right here is if you want to get in at the lowest risk, this is where you should be accumulating. Let me just zoom out and you guys can see what I mean. This is your accumulation zone. To me, this is an absolutely fantastic trade. Oversold, bottom of a range, at massive lows, and in a huge buy zone. So what ways would I look at playing this? Well, I'm going to show you is exactly what I would do right now. First thing we can do, if you have a small account, okay, this is kind of glitched, so you're going to have to deal with it, but if you had a small account, you could come out 281 days on American Airlines and you could buy an in the money leap option. This is the first way you could play it. Look, this has a delta of 93. So you could use this and play the poor man's covered call. You could even come down to the 82 delta one. So you're paying on this, in this case, you're paying $435 to own this contract. But you can use this like it is 100 shares. And you can then come out and you could sell monthly call options against it. So for example, you could come here and you could sell the 13, which means you'd have to get rid of that leap option at the 13 strike, which is great because right now it's at 11.3. The premium isn't great, so you might not want to do this. But if you did want to make some income, you certainly could. You, instead of buying an in the money leap option, if you really do think it's going to bounce, you could buy an out of the money leap option. You could buy this 15 strike. It's only going to cost you $86. Like that is realistically nothing. You know, you need the stock to be at $16 in just over a year's time. You could buy the 12, which is only going to cost you $187. It should definitely be above 12. This, to me, buying the 12 seems like a pretty good risk to reward. You know, you've got your delta of you've got your delta of 55. So every dollar the stock moves, you're going to see a 55-cent gain on this. So that is your basically option one, is buying these sleep options. Option two, what you could actually do is just buy shares. Right now the shares are 11.50 a share. So you could buy these shares very cheap. That's going to be your least risk in terms of time. You know, you're going to have absolutely no risk. You have all the time in the world, and you can set stop losses below this zone at 10.6 if you like. Or you can just buy, hold, and dollar cost average through this here zone. So that is the two main options, the way you can play this. Shares and leap options. Of course, you can do shorter term options if you think it is going to bounce fast and you can make a heck of a lot of money. But what I'm actually going to do in my longer term account is I'm going to buy shares. I'm going to be picking up shares while we're in this zone, and I'm going to be looking to sell them up around the $15 mark. A very nice swing trade for me from this zone here up to this zone is exactly what I'm looking to do on American Airlines. I probably will sell covered calls. Maybe not straight away. I'll probably sell covered calls once we start bouncing up a bit. And then once we get into the 15 range, I'm not just going to sell shares. I'll just start selling at the money covered calls to get out. Try bring in some premium through the door. But this is all there is to it, guys. Very quick video. I think American Airlines is a buy. I think this is a perfect time to accumulate some shares for a nice swing trade to the upside. I think it's quite undervalued at the price it's sitting at right now, especially compared to the rest of the market. And I do think money is going to rotate sectors eventually, and this will have its day where it gets a very nice rally. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it.